Generally, it used to take more than 10 years to find the vaccine for any disease. But in the case of COVID-19 disease, the scientific community has found the vaccine within 10 months. How was it possible? Because the COVID-19 disease was spreading very fastly than expected, and it has spread to many countries. So the whole world has poured millions of dollars, particularly the developed countries has invested lot of amount to find the vaccine, and there are many number of volunteers they have involved, and there are many number of scientists, medical staffs, global health organizations, for instance WHO, philanthropists, global alliances to find the vaccine for this COVID-19 pandemic, NGOs, that is non-governmental organizations, along with this scientific development, all together put the hand to find the vaccine to eradicate this COVID-19 disease. They have been worked for days and night to find the vaccine. So because of their sincere efforts, the SARS-CoV-2 virus vaccine has been found very soon than predicted. Then let me see what are the stages a vaccine has to pass to get the approval. In the free clinical trial, the vaccine used to be tested with the animals, but in the case of vaccine against SARS-CoV-2 virus, it is tested with monkeys in the pre-clinical trial. The reason is that many of the genome of monkeys matched with the human. After a vaccine passed the pre-clinical trial, it comes to the first phase of human clinical trial. Here, the vaccine is given to healthy volunteers in the age group of 20 to 50 years, where the vaccine dosage is determined and also the side effect is noted. Then the vaccine comes to the second phase of human clinical trial. Here the vaccine is given to hundreds of healthy volunteers. The side effects and also the efficacy of the vaccine is checked. Then the vaccine moved to the third phase of human clinical trial. Here the vaccine is given to thousands of volunteers with different age groups. There may be a volunteer who has the comorbidities also. So the vaccines minute side effects are used to be noted, particularly in this third phase of human clinical trial, and the efficacy rate also will be checked thoroughly in this clinical trial. Then the vaccine moved to the limited approval. Then finally only it will be given to the full approval. Then who is going to give the approval to the vaccines? What are the conditions a vaccine need to meet to get the approval? In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, that is FDA, giving the approval with the free condition they have set for SARS-CoV-2 virus vaccine, that is the vaccine efficiency should not be less than 50%, and also the clinical trial, when the vaccine is given to the volunteers should be monitored for 2 months to understand the risk benefit profile of the vaccine, and there should not be any severe side effect. But there wasn't any such free condition set by the Drug Controller and General of India to give the vaccine approval in India. But they are expecting the health benefit profile need to be very clear in the third phase of human clinical trial. After the Pfizer's vaccine, which got limited emergency use approval in England, they have applied for approval in India also. Then the next day, the Serum Institute, which also applied for its vaccine, Covishield, then followed by the Bharat Biotech also applied for its vaccine, Covaxin. But the Drug Controller and General of India didn't give approval to those companies. The reason highlighted was the Covishield and Covaxin didn't clear the third phase of human clinical trial. That report not yet produced to the Drug Controller and General of India. And also because of this kind of competition among the drug makers to get approval for their vaccine, 9 drug makers came forward to make an agreement which put the terms that none of the companies in the agreement should try to get approval for their vaccine before they complete third phase of human clinical trial efficiently, because there is a high demand for COVID-19 vaccine in the present market. So these companies are always eager to get approval as soon as possible, even though they didn't complete the third phase of human clinical trial. So if any vaccine got approval before completing third phase of clinical trial and later it found that the vaccine efficiency is not good and there are huge severe side effects which has affected many number of people, then the trust of the company in the market will be degraded and there will not be any demand for the vaccine of those kind of companies. So the big vaccine makers don't want to take such a risk because they have been invested millions of dollars for the development of COVID-19 vaccine, with the hope of their vaccine demand will be in the market. So far, no vaccine got complete approval in the world. Only 6 vaccine got limited approval for emergency use as of November 2020. Initially, it was thought the AstraZeneca and the Oxford University found the vaccine used to come to the market very soon. But all of a sudden, Russia has self-proclaimed that they have found the world's first vaccine against SARS-CoV-2 virus and named the vaccine Sputnik 5. But later, the critics were pointing out that the Russia didn't complete the phase 2 and phase 3 human clinical trial. But before that, to maintain the prestige of Russia in the world arena, they gave the approval to the vaccine. Recently, the US drug maker Pfizer and the German drug maker BioNTech jointly developed a vaccine came to the market, and also they have released the third human clinical trial details where the Pfizer's vaccine showed that 90% effective. Followed by UK is the first country in the world which gave the approval for the Pfizer vaccine for the limited emergency use. Then the next moment they started vaccine drive for their people. So the UK has given its first approved vaccine to the 90-year-old woman. After injecting the vaccine to the old woman, the medical staff altogether clapped as they found the hero to fight against SARS-CoV-2 virus. Then another vaccine maker, Moderna from US, also released third phase of human clinical trial about their vaccine, which showed that their vaccine is 94.5% efficient. So followed by some other companies also. For instance, the Russia Sputnik 5 vaccine, which was developed by Gamaleya Institute, also released that the Sputnik 5 vaccine is 92% efficient. The Moderna and Pfizer's vaccine need to be stored at the temperature minus 20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. So it is expected to be quite costly for the developing and poor countries to afford the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. There are 5 vaccines in the human clinical trial in India, which also include the Serum Institute making vaccine Covishield, which was developed by AstraZeneca and the Oxford University. Then the Bharat Biotech and ICMR jointly producing vaccine Covaxin. Then the Zydus Cadila making vaccine. The third phase human clinical trial result of AstraZeneca and Oxford University jointly developed vaccine shows that it is 70 to 90% efficient. And also that vaccine enough to store at the temperature 2 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius. So it is very suitable for the developing countries and also the countries which are in the high temperature region. There are 4 vaccines in the front runner in China, which include the Sinopharm company's vaccine, which showed that its efficiency was 86%. And also the Casino company vaccine, which is also a China company, got limited approval in China. The Pfizer vaccine got more demand around the world as of now. The Pfizer vaccine got approval from US, Canada, Bahrain. Then there are many European countries are ready to give the approval to the Pfizer vaccine. The US has a plan of giving 20 million doses of vaccine to its population before December. The president-elect, Mr. Joe Biden, he also promised that after he came to the office, within the 100 days, he will give 100 million doses of vaccine to the American people. India has a plan of vaccinating 30 crore people before August 2021. There are few developed countries which has stockpiled more than 3 times of record doses of vaccine to their entire population. For instance, Canada has booked about 10 doses of vaccine per person. The UK and Australia has booked about 5 doses of vaccine per person. The European Union, Japan and the US has booked about 3 doses of vaccine per person. But India has booked about only 1.17 doses of vaccine per person. Minimum required 2 doses of vaccine to vaccinate a person. Each dose is given at the interval of 21 days. Why then the developed countries booked more than record doses? Because now only these vaccines are coming to the practical application, that too only in limited emergency use. So if any vaccine failed, these countries should not be in trouble. So these countries often book few millions of doses with different drug maker. Why is the poor countries are not showing that much interest to afford the vaccine as soon as possible? Because they have already spent huge amount of money to control the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And also just now only they started to reviving their economy. Now presently, since the vaccine demand is very high, the price of the vaccine expected to be also very high. So they wait and watch. They may think to buy the best and cheap vaccine after those vaccine which came to practical application. There is a global vaccine alliance which is called Gavi. it is also a public and private partnership. The purpose of this alliance is to make the vaccine as cheap as possible to the poor countries. There are 189 member countries are part of this vaccine alliance. There is a warning alert raised by the Interpol, which is an international police organization to control the crime. There are 194 countries are part of this institution. The alert is for the purpose of stopping the crime network which are involved in the fake COVID-19 vaccine advertisement and online selling. So, it is the primary function of the government to stop the fake vaccine coming to the market and also punish those who are involved in the criminal activities. We must remember that the COVID-19 disease has spread to all countries almost from Arctic to Antarctica. So, the fight against COVID-19 cannot be get over until we get enough vaccine to all countries, particularly to poor and developing countries.